All right, this IXL link is easier than the ones you're going to get on the red whistle. Not that they're that hard, there's decimals and there are more numbers. If you haven't watched the first video that talks about mean, absolute deviation, tells you how to do them, you need to do that. All right, so I'm not going to answer this question. I'm going to come up with the answer, but I'm not going to submit it. All right, so to find the MAD, you have to add up the numbers and find the mean, and then you have to subtract. So when I add them up, I get 27 divided by 6, and you get a mean of 4.5. Then you have to subtract each of those numbers from the mean, and when I did that, added those numbers up then to find the MAD. When I added them up, I got 11 divided by 6 equals 1.833, and notice that it says round to the nearest tenth. That's probably where more kids miss anything, is in the rounding rather than in the getting the problem wrong itself. So if you round that to the nearest tenth, you're going to get 1.8. All right, so in skipping lesson 16.3, 4, and 5, you're missing out on some data display info, and you'll be able to pick up on these pretty easily. So I'm just going to explain a few things here. All right, so this is called a histogram. I know you probably think it looks like a bar graph, but it differs in a couple of different ways. First of all, a histogram has ranges of numbers here. So this bar represents anything from 1 to 20, 21 to 40, and so on and so forth. These bars are touching, unlike a bar graph. You wouldn't see the bars touching. They look like, okay, so they look like they're not touching, but they should be touching. All right, so this is the number of peanuts per bag of trail mix. And they ask how many bags had between 81 and 100 peanuts. So you go find that range, 81 to 100, and looks like there are 20 bags. And I'm not going to do that because I've used a lot of IXL questions, but I think you can handle these questions on histograms. By the way, it has nothing to do with history. Here is the Khan Academy link on histograms, reading histograms. And this one is countries represented at each festival. And you might notice that I've already answered it, but that's okay. It says, how many festivals were there? Well, these are all the ranges, so we have to actually add up everything that these bars represent. So here's a 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 2 more is 15. So there are 15 festivals represented in that histogram. All right. Another one on that same type of a histogram. How many more festivals? Well, that means subtract. How many more festivals had 18 to 23 countries then represented than 0 to 5 countries represented? So how many are in that bar? That would be 4. And how many more tells us to subtract. How many more? So how many more are represented here than here? Well, here's only one country, so 4 minus 1 should give us 3 festivals. All right, so we'll stop there and go on to the next topic. All right, the next link is on reading dot plots and frequency tables, and I think you probably guessed that this is a dot plot. It uses dots to show how many of something occur. Okay, and you see the number line here, and this happens to be the number of cavities. It says, what was the most frequent number of cavities that a patient had? Well, remember that each of these dots represents the number of cavities. So if you count these, you've got four people, 4 patients. So 4 patients had 0 cavities. This means that 3 patients had 1 cavity. 2 patients had 2 cavities, 2 patients had 3 cavities, and so on and so forth. What was the most frequent number of cavities? Well, frequent means most. What was the most frequent number of cavities that a patient had? It would have to be there, right? Oh, no, most frequent would be most frequently occurred, the most people. So that would be 0 cavities. Most people had 0 cavities. All right, and this is a frequency table. This is just essay scores, and then in a frequency table you record how many get each whatever it is that you're talking about, and this just happens to be essay scores in a class. So what was the most frequent essay score? What what was the biggest number of students? And that would be 4. So the 4 people had an essay score of 3. Now these can be a little tricky, especially with this and just the type of question they ask. So be careful on those, read carefully. All right, now the previous link was on a dot plot. This is a line plot. They're basically the same thing. A dot plot uses dots, a line plot uses X's. Just different books use different terminology. All right, so you see thank you notes that have been written. 0 thank you notes written. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 children wrote 0 thank you notes. This says how many children wrote exactly 1 thank you note. Well, that's easy enough. That would be 0, correct? Nobody wrote 1 thank you note. Lots of kids wrote 2 thank you notes, and 1 kid wrote 3 thank you notes. I'm going to do one more here. At a school carnival, a curious student volunteer counted the number of times visitors to her booth spun the numbers 1 through 6. So here's your 1 through 6. Notice that even though there are no X's above the 5, you still have the 5 there. If you ever have to make a line plot or a dot plot, remember that. It's important that you include all the numbers here. It's easy to see that there were no 5s spun. So what number was spun the most times? Well, this makes it pretty easy to see that a 4 was spun the most. All right, so line plots, dot plots, essentially they are the same thing, just look a little different. Okay, this is the last link, and this ties line plots, dot plots, whatever you want to call them, and MAD together. So you have to read the dot plot and then find the MAD, find the mean absolute deviation. All right, so first thing you want to do is write down your numbers. Well, this is an interesting dot plot. You've got a bunch of numbers here that each have 1 dot. Remember, that's 1 time that number is represented. So I have written down a 0, a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, and a 6. And I added those up and got 18, divided by those 6 numbers, and got a mean of 3. So then when I subtracted 3 from each of these numbers, and added those numbers up, I got 12. If you write that down, you'll be able to see it. And then divide by those 6 numbers again, and 12 divided by 6 equals 2. So we have a MAD of 2 chocolate chips in different cookies. So if the mean is 3 chocolate chips per cookie, sometimes there's only 1, sometimes there's 5. It's a mean, a MAD of mean absolute deviation of 2 chocolate chips per cookie. Ooh, can I find that? No, guess I better answer it, huh? 2. How do I get to that? My webcam is covering it up. All right, here you have a pictograph, or pictures showing representing your dots instead. Pay attention to your key here. 1 wand equals 1 wand. Sometimes it's 2. So wands held by fairies in fairyland. All right, so find the mean absolute deviation of the data in the pictograph below. All right, I think you will find that the numbers you get in the Khan Academy MAD questions work out pretty well. All right, so I wrote down my numbers. I wrote down 5, 3, 3, and 5. Added those up. Add the 5s and I get 10. Add the 3s and I get 6. So 10 plus 6 is 16 divided by 4 gives us a mean of 4. And then when I subtract 5 minus 4 and 4 minus 3, I get 1 for each of those numbers. Add those up, 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 4, I get a MAD, a mean absolute deviation of 1. So I think you can handle both histograms and line plots or dot plots. Good luck with those. That'll help us a little bit when we get to next year. All right, good job. Thank you much.